Among the vibrant lights and excited whispers, Brandon strolled through the ballroom, always in the company of a stunning woman. This time, he was next to Kate, an enigmatic and elegant figure who captured everyone's attention. As they entered the hall together, all eyes turned to Kate, following her steps with curiosity. "Who is this incredible woman?" they whispered. It was exactly what Brandon had hoped for when he hired the agency to find someone special to accompany him on important occasions. Brandon was a famous entrepreneur in the world of fashion and beauty. He always showed up at events with a beautiful woman by his side. But what people didn't know was that this was part of an agreement between them. Brandon, who was swimming in money and success, always wanted to maintain this image of constant success. Kate, on the other hand, was going through difficult times, struggling with unemployment and financial problems. When the modeling agency offered her the chance to accompany him to events, she saw it as a light at the end of the tunnel. The deal was simple. Kate would accompany Brandon and, in return, be generously rewarded financially. Brandon and Kate were an unlikely pair. He was the king of fashion. She was struggling financially. They decided to pretend to be a couple at fancy events, but there was no love, just an agreement of convenience. Brandon was friendly but professional. When they were alone, communication between them was limited. But on camera, Brandon was all smiles and pleasantries with Kate. The deal was that she would spend hours studying Brandon's tastes, his companies, and how to answer questions from the media. In addition, she had to sleep at the mansion to avoid suspicion from the paparazzi. Kate spent hours at Brandon's mansion every day, where she was guided by the advice of his dedicated secretary and astute press assistant. It was through them that she unraveled the mystery behind Brandon's preference for models over real relationships. In intimate conversations, it was discovered that Brandon carried the marks of past loves with him, which made him avoid indulging in romance again. Understanding, Kate accepted his role as a decorative presence at events. For one special evening, at a super fashion event for Brandon's textile industry, he even had a special dress made for Kate. He wanted her to look her best and draw everyone's attention. But, guys, it wasn't just everyone who was jaw-dropped by Kate's incredible beauty in that dress. Brandon was too. When she appeared all stunning in front of him in that incredible outfit, Brandon was speechless. "Your agency hit the nail on the head. You really are unique and stunning," he said, all surprised. Kate noticed something different in the way he said those words, but didn't pay much attention. She had to keep focused on her work. After the event, exhausted, she sat on the balcony of her room to relax a little after a night full of lights and cameras. Relaxed in her armchair, Kate admired the star-studded night sky and the beautiful full moon. Her mind wandered as she watched. Suddenly, a familiar voice brought her back to reality. "The night is incredible, but you're even more so." Kate, surprised, turned around to identify where the voice was coming from. She then saw Brandon sitting on the balcony next to hers. But how? Is his room next door? She thought aloud. Brandon replied, "Yes, right next door. We're in the same wing of the mansion's suites, one next to the other." At that moment, Kate jumped out of her chair and ran into the bedroom, locking the door tightly. Soon after this episode, the agency's payment to Kate doubled. The supervisor announced the news with a broad smile on her face. Brandon began to devote more time to dialogue rehearsals and to participate more actively in classes with her. His colleagues soon realized that Brandon was acting unusually and alerted Kate. "Kate, I think the boss is in love with you," said the secretary. "What? No way," exclaimed Kate. Although she tried to convince herself otherwise, deep down she knew she was denying the truth. It was clear that Brandon was radically changing the way he treated her. Before, Brandon was all serious, not caring what Kate said. But now, he paid attention to everything, spent hours with her, and even gave her nice presents. Kate began to worry because their contract was only professional and didn't involve feelings. But things changed. In Brandon's eyes, which had previously seemed feigned, there was a different sparkle. His gestures were kinder and more genuine. The emotional pressure reached its maximum when, one beautiful evening, Brandon, completely in love and seeing that Kate was pulling away, said firmly, "You'll still love me, Kate, I know it." Kate was surprised by his strong words and resisted his attempts to win her over even more. She always reminded him about the contract and the rules, but he wouldn't give up trying to win her love. Kate avoided situations where they were alone as much as she could. But one night, when she was already in bed, he knocked on her bedroom door. She went up to him and he said, "Can I talk to you for a while? I'm feeling quite lonely and I'd like to talk to someone." She noticed that he really wasn't well. His eyes were red and his hands were shaking. "Sure, Brandon. What's going on? Are you feeling unwell? I can do something for you," she offered. "No, it's okay, Kate. I just wanted to let off some steam and know that someone likes me for who I am, not just for what I have. You're incredible. Even though you know I'm in love with you and give you expensive presents, you don't give yourself to me. In the facade world I live in, that's rare, which makes you even more special. I was once married to someone who I thought loved me, but I found out that he was only with me for my money. After a few months of marriage, I saw her cheating on me with my friend. It was horrible to realize that I had been used and deceived like that. Today marks 2 years since we broke up, and it's got me a bit down. But I don't want to bother you with my problems," said Brandon, getting ready to leave. "Relax, Brandon. It doesn't bother me that you share your feelings with me," said Kate, trying to reassure him. "Actually, it just shows a side of you that I didn't know. Come here, let's have a chat," she invited. Brandon, looking sad, agreed and sat down. Kate continued, "You're amazing, Brandon. Let this date go and don't suffer any more for it. Anyone would be interested in you. You're handsome, intelligent, and kind." "It's not like that, Kate. You show no interest in me and you've never given me a chance to show that I care about you. In fact, you always run away from me," he retorted. "You've got it all wrong, Brandon. I'm a model, I'm working, I'm just here to accompany you to events. We have a contract, and that doesn't include feelings between us. Although it's not spelled out in black and white in the contract, what kind of woman would I be to get involved for money, right? You know what they call someone like that. That's not the position I want to have in your life. And look, I never said I wasn't interested in you. On the contrary, from the first moment we met, I was enchanted. But I'm not here to be just another one," Kate said softly. In fact, for some time now, in the moments between one event and another, Kate had felt a small feeling welling up in her heart that beat stronger in Brandon's presence, but she tried to control her emotions. But Brandon's attitudes went far beyond his written words. He made an effort to see Kate happy. He gave her care and attention that went beyond what was agreed in the contract. Kate, touched by the feeling that grew inside her, realized that Brandon's feelings went far beyond what was initially agreed. She loved being by his side, listening to him perform in public, admiring his intelligence in dealing with the spotlight and, what's more, feeling his protective and affectionate presence by her side. He, unable to resist her affection, embraced her and gave her a passionate kiss, which was warmly reciprocated. She couldn't hold on to that unexpected love any longer. She wanted to be with him completely. In her head, Kate tried to find a solution so that she wouldn't feel lost between her desire and her work. The next morning, after a night full of affection between the two of them, she had an idea. "I already know what I'm going to do, if you agree. I don't need to work for you anymore, because what I've earned so far is enough to pay off my debts and live well for a while. If you really love me, come and see me at my address, not as my boss, but as someone who wants to be with me forever. That way, We'll start a sincere and real relationship. What do you think, Brandon?" He smiled, looking like he liked the idea. A week after leaving work, because her boss wouldn't accept her turning down a very lucrative project, Kate heard someone knocking on her apartment door. When she opened it, it was Brandon. He looked at her and said, "Kate, you're going to love me, not just today, but forever." She was overjoyed and kissed him. With that, in the midst of confused feelings and secret desires, Kate gave herself over to the love that was growing between them. She accepted this love, not for money, but for the true pleasure of loving and being loved. What began as a relationship of convenience turned into a story full of emotions, where the two, initially united by chance, discovered that the heart follows unexpected paths. So Kate and Brandon began a new journey together, guided by a genuine love that surprised and delighted them, showing that sometimes fate holds the most beautiful stories for those who have the courage to follow their feelings. The moral of the story is that sometimes we need to give up something important to discover what really matters. True love can be where you least expect it. You just have to have the courage to follow it. Did you like this story? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us for more exciting content. Thanks for watching.